B, Bobby Olivero. There he is, out front. He's been running very comfortably for about 40 or 50 laps now. Remember, he ran third early in this race. He got around the number 70 of Joe Saldana on one of the caution flags. Since that time, he has had 5 sails to the wind. He has been off and running. This is one of the older designed race cars. I don't know exactly how old this particular car is, but by the shape of the nose, I would estimate that it is at least a decade and maybe as many as 15 years of age.
Ronnie Burt of Houston, Texas, the driver of car number 33, has dropped out of the race. Ron Burt, car number 33, out of competition. We have only 13 more laps to go. Actually, about 12 and a quarter now for Bobby Olivero, as Ron Schumann now moves up very, very close to the 5th place car of Larry Rice, number 1. There is Ron Schumann battling frantically to get back up into the top 5 after he made a pit stop for a tire change during one of our 2 yellows that we have had here during this race. Here is Schumann now closing in quite quickly on Larry Rice down the main straightaway. Schumann to the outside. I think he'll really look for the inside groove, because that is the one that it appears to be the fastest at this point. Schumann and Rice battling for 4th, make that 5th position.
Ronnie Schumann again proving that his car may well be one of the best set up here this afternoon. Up, down, he can run everywhere but the middle of the racetrack. That is no man's land late in a race on any sides of a dirt track. You either run down in the bottom where it's the shortest way around, or the high side, the cushion. Where Schumann is, you can go faster in terms of miles per hour, and Schumann gets around the high side of the defending champion Larry Rice. You can go faster in terms of miles per hour up there, but you got to cover more ground.
We've got 10 more laps to go as we watch this race here. And the word is that Rice got into the rail here in turn number 1, Larry. Indeed he did. On the replay, we can see it clearly. It's a very fine line. You run less than an inch, maybe less than half an inch on occasions from that inside rail. The idea is to make the racetrack as short as you possibly can. And Larry Rice cut it too short just a lap ago. So Larry Rice now is in 6th place, and Ron Schumann is 5th. Here are some more cars that have dropped out of competition. Mike Winblad, Keith Kaufman, Chuck Amati, Elvin Felty, Arnie Knepper, Doug Wolfgang, and Ronnie Burt. Leader continues to be Bobby Olivero. In 2nd place is Joe Saldana. 3rd belongs to Sheldon Kinzer. 4th to the number 9, driven by Mark Alderson. And then 5th now belongs to Ron Schumann, and 6th, the number 1 of Larry Rice. 8 more laps to go. Still on the lead lap, but just about 10 or 12 car lengths behind the leaders is this car right here, the number 86 car of Mike Peters. Peters came to this race with absolutely no reputation, no fanfare, and no experience on a 1-mile dirt racetrack, and for my money, he is easily the rookie of the race. He's run very competitive. Right now, he runs down to the number 12 position. He's the last car on the lead lap. He's trying to hold off the charging Bobby Olivero, and there is Olivero moving in, and Peters has got 7 laps to hold him back. I don't think he's going to do it. No, I don't think he is. In fact, Olivero goes to the inside and passes Mike Peters in turn number 2. So Mike Peters now moves a lap down. In 12th position, there are 11 cars on the lead lap as Olivero comes out of turn number 4 and crosses the start-finish line. It will complete lap number 94. We will have 6 more to go. Bobby Olivero from Lakewood, California, has been one of 2 leaders here today, the other being Sheldon Kinzer. But Kinzer dropped out of the lead on lap number 38. Olivero took over and has never been headed. Well, there's Rick Hood, Ken Schrader. Those 2 guys are in the top 10, running right now 7th and 8th. Right behind them is Engelhart. We are still showing Engelhart being on the lead lap. He's the 3rd car in line. And I'll tell
tell you, I'll bet you Engelhardt is getting tired of seeing people north, south, east, and west of him. Bill Engelhardt, former winner of the Hoosier 100, a regular top 5 driver in this division, has been in heavy traffic all day long. We never did see the charge that we expected from Kenny Schrader in that gumball yellow painted number 39, the Rose Brothers trucking race car. Schrader got as high as 7th or 8th and just tucked her down along the rail, and I guess he figured that's about as high as he could go.
Bobby Olivero is the leader, and we are nearing the conclusion of this event. As Olivero comes out of the 4th turn, we'll take this break and be back for the finish. For victory in the Tony Bettenhausen 100 here at the State Fairgrounds in Springfield, Illinois. Bobby Olivero off of turn number 4 and completing lap number 97. 3 more miles to go. Joe Saldana still is about 4 seconds behind, and Sheldon Kinzer is then about a full straightaway behind Saldana in 3rd place. Mark Alderson is 5th, Ronnie Schumann is 6th, 7th is Larry Rice, 8th is Ricky Hood, 9th is Ken Schrader, and 10th is Billy Engelhardt.
If Olivero can bring this A.J. Watson constructed car home first, it'll be his 2nd win in the last 3 years in the Tony Bettenhausen 100. He won in 1979. He was the 1979 champion. There's that Hood, Schrader, Engelhardt thing still going on. Remember earlier this year, Bobby Olivero, we're talking about the guy who's leading, got upside down in a championship dirt car race at the Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio.
8th, 9th, and 10th position here. 8th place, Rick Hood. 9th place, Ken Schrader. 10th place, Billy Engelhardt. 98 laps have been completed. Here is the white flag for Bobby Olivero, and Larry, he's going to coast to victory, it looks like. He's only got about 3/4 of a lap to go.
Yeah, discretion has got to be the better part of valor. There's a whole lot of tussling going on just ahead of him. Olivero has definitely gotten off the pace because he sees those guys running 2 and 3 abreast, about 100 yards to his forefront.
Well, here this group of cars comes down the main straightaway. The leader is at the rear of the pack, but the race is over. It was Hood, Schrader, Engelhardt, and then the winner of the race, Bobby Olivero, crossing the finish line in that order. There he is, the winner of the Tony Bettenhausen 100, Bobby Olivero, car number 16. Bobby started this race in 12th position and posted the victory after taking over the lead from Sheldon Kinzer. Now we will go back and see how these drivers finish here as they race for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Here is Hood, Schrader making a move. But Ricky Hood holds him off, then Schrader, and then Billy Engelhardt, 8th, 9th, and 10th position.
And following right behind them was the California, a surprise entry here, Walt Kennedy in number 44. Kennedy also was able to stay on the lead lap. He comes home in 11th place, and it's got to be a gratifying run for Kennedy. But another Californian, this guy, Bobby Olivero, had a tremendously satisfying race. There's Dana Carter pulling up alongside of Olivero. You see Bobby waving to Dana. Dana extending his congratulations, at least visually, to a fellow Californian race driver. They've competed against each other many, many times in the midget division, on occasion in the sprint car division, and Dana happy to be back, happy to get 100 more miles under his race, and Olivero, of course, very happy to pick up win number 3 in his career in the championship dirt car division.
Bobby Olivero waving to some of the well-wishers along the inside guardrail in turn number 3. Now he pulls to a stop here on the main straightaway as the crowd has risen to its feet. Some of them begin to leave, but others will salute the winner, Bobby Olivero, and help him celebrate his victory here today at Springfield. Bobby Olivero taking the gloves off, and in just a moment, Larry Duber will be down trackside and talk with our winner. Back at the State Fairgrounds in Springfield after this. Two leaders in the race. Sheldon Kinzer led the first 37, with the most important laps. The final ones were led by Bobby Olivero, and Larry Duber is with him.
Bobby Olivero, it's been a while since you've been in victory lane in a championship dirt car, but boy, today you were dominant.
Well, the race car is the best race car out there, I think. I really believe it's the best dirt car in the United States today. And you can look at our record. If we finish the race, we either win it or no worse than third. And we've just been having mechanical troubles for about the last year and a half, and hopefully we got them solved now. We came here earlier in the year, and we never even got out of the pits.
What of that move after that lap 38 caution flag? You were running in third position, and then all of a sudden after we went green again, it looked like you decided it was time to make your move.
Well, I was trying to save the race car, the tires a little bit, because I was having to run it awful hard to pass the other cars, starting halfway in the back. And so when I found out that it was the 38th lap, I decided I better try and get to the front if it was all possible, and luckily we made it. And then I tried to ease off a little bit, but it's a difficult thing to do. The race car wants to run fast. It handles the best that way it's set up, so I sort of just had to keep up my pace and just hope we made it, and fortunate we did.
Once you got out front, you also took the safe road down there in the bottom, but had the feeling that car could have run up on the cushion when you needed it to also.
Well, you know, I never did really try it. I passed a few of the slower cars that way. But, you know, if you're on the pole like that, you're on the short way around the racetrack, and if you can get through that corner as fast as the guy on the outside, you better be on the short way if you want to beat him.
What about thoughts toward the championship? Now that this team is really together again, the team has never been apart, but obviously you've got the combination working. Think you got a shot at becoming champ again?
Oh, I never give up on that idea. The year that we won, we got started a little bit late. We had some trouble in one of the second races, but if we can run 100 miles at these next 200 milers, I think we're going to be tough.
Well, Bobby Olivero looking forward to the next couple of races on the Silver Crown Trail.
Thank you, Larry. ESPN congratulates the winner of the Tony Bettenhausen 100 here at Springfield, Bobby Olivero. We'll be back in just a moment. Bobby Olivero's average winning speed was 97.986 miles an hour. Where Bobby Olivero has won the Tony Bettenhausen 100. Larry, I think we saw something very significant here today. We talked about qualifying and how important the qualifying draw was. Yet Bobby Olivero qualified for 12th position, but when it came race time, he was ready.
It's a matter of track conditioning also. The track was prepared superbly. It was disc this morning. They put in liquid calcium, and it stayed together. There was a cushion there all race long. The track was nice and smooth down the bottom. It never got terribly dusty. It was just superb track conditions.
Let's take a look at the top 10 in today's race. The winner, of course, was Bobby Olivero. Second place, Joe Saldana. Third was Sheldon Kinzer. Fourth was Mark Alderson. And fifth was Ron Schumann. Sixth position, Larry Rice. Seventh was Rick Hood. Eighth was Ken Schrader. Ninth, Bill Englehart. And 10th was Walt Kennedy. As we look at the second 20, I think there are a couple of people that we could definitely talk about in the top 10 besides the winner, Olivero, namely Mark Alderson and Ron Schumann.
Well, it was really nice to see Mark Alderson have another nice day. We commented earlier in the broadcast that he had been criticized from some circles in the past, but he ran very smooth and very quick all day long. And then there was the story of Schumann, the driver from Arizona. He had that pit stop under a late caution flag. He went all the way to the back of the pack. At first we thought he had lost a lap, but not so. And he just rocket shipped his way up through. And had he had some more time, I don't know, he may have been the fastest car on the track at the end of the race.
Thank you for joining us from the State Fairgrounds in Springfield, Illinois. For Larry Nuber, this is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.